Week 16 portfolio review. The running back strike back. Chuba Hubbard, Jonathan Taylor go bonkers. We got best ball sweats to cover. Am I going to make it to the Chow Chow finals? We got lots of cope. We got lots of pain. Wherever you're at in your emotional relationship with fantasy football, the portfolio review is here for you today. And we will wrap things up looking to Monday Night Football, build some pick'ems, stir up some new hope for us if we got bounced hard yesterday. I think today might be a day we feed the ducks as well. It's time to heal, everyone. It's time to look back. This is the portfolio review.
I suffer from a debilitating condition known as atropic chokitis.
Peter's one of the greatest depositors I've ever seen.
Trust the process. Let's go. Let's go.
I got auto matched with Levitan. This is bullshit.
If I just go the other way in that 66, I win all the money. All the money.
If I had 150 lineups, I'd win too.
Process over results.
Illuminati make a bitch go crazy. I don't know which one of these my baby. Bust out AP, close 5 bullets in your head like KD. Bust it, bitch go bust it. And I had 10 pints with me in Russia.
Hey everyone.
Hey everyone, indeed. We got the GMs going. We got people saying what they need tonight. What is up, Keith? What's up, ATX? Ashton? KZ, don't worry, we're going to have the coffee pour going. What's up, Josh? Kevin, the BBM dream is dead. I feel you. We'll get to all of that today. Cross country GG. Just need Kendre and Juwan Johnson to combine for 49 points. It could happen. It could definitely happen. What's up, Mathology? What's up, Eli? What's up, one of the mini Steves? What's up, Brandon? Fatty McFats tapping in. What's up, Paul? Another Steve? Here come all the Steves. Here they come. Even look at the numbers. Steve B1164, Steven WC23. You guys are in cahoots. You guys are in cahoots to make me mix you guys up. What's up, Charlie? I know I am looking cozy. It's funny. The story behind my beanie. So on Sunday afternoons, when April wakes up for her nap, we normally try to get out of the house and do something. And that's been complicated by the fact that it's now extremely cold here. What does it say right now? It is 15 degrees right now. So she's been liking, there's a Barnes & Noble by our house. And in the kids section, they have like a puppet show stage. And all of these puppets, obviously they want you to buy them. But April's obsessed with puppet shows. For her second birthday, we got her like a little mini puppet show set up and all these different puppets. So on Sundays now, she says, Dad, can we go to Barnes & Nobles? And she says Barnes & Nobles with her little 2-year-old lisp. And it's very cute. So I said, yeah, let's go over there. And so I was wearing this hat, but now she's been playing with the hat and treating it like it's its own puppet. And she insisted on sleeping with my hat. So this morning when I went and got her, she was, snuggling up with the hat. And then I was able to wrestle it back from her today. So now the hat is back on my head. But I have a feeling that I'm going to lose the war of this beanie, and she's going to end up commandeering it as part of her puppet arsenal. So I'm just enjoying it while I have it here. People are tilting Bucky laying an egg in the second half. Yeah, that was unfortunate. Then the game script kind of put Rachaad White on the field. I thought, Bucky was going to have a pretty good game there off the rip. We got lots of people going through their advance rates, making it to the Flock Community Contest 3. Congratulations. National Sneeve Day. Wet like I'm a book. Looking forward to getting into the big board. Dobby is ready to create some emotional hedges in the pick'em lobby. Need at least 9 points from Reed, so bet the under. There you go. Here's the thing about Jayden Reed, right? Like, he's either going for 4 or 30 tonight. I don't think there's any in-betweens for Jayden Reed. All right. Let's start, as we always do. We got lots of ground to cover. Big day today for me. So basically, because tomorrow is Christmas Eve, cramming all of my stuff from Tuesday into Monday. I do the LG taping with Fantasy Life General on Tuesdays. I'm doing that this afternoon, and we're doing the Swolecast today. We're doing a Week 17 first look before Week 16 is even finished. That's going to be at 4 p.m. Eastern today. And then there's also going to be ADP chasing as normal at 11:45 right after this show. We're going to cram it all in to today and then take a couple of days off here for Christmas Eve and Christmas. But let's look at the DraftKings slate here. I'll get my try to get my screen shared, and I can show you guys my lineups that I rolled out. I actually broke even on DraftKings yesterday. I didn't even know that was allowed. I didn't even know they allowed you to break even. I thought you just make a weekly donation to Jason Robbins. But he actually gave me my entry fees back this week. I'm behind on getting my my screen share set up here, so bear with me. Bear with me. There's the screen. There's the frame. Now let's adjust it. Let's adjust it. I played the power sweep again. I've mentioned on the cram. I know some people are disappointed that I'm not in the spy, and I know that I've cultivated an incredible brand around punting it off in the spy every week. But the main reason I made that switch is because I was playing different spies, different red zones at different price points. And then I'm simming for different contest sizes, and I just didn't have the time to do it how I wanted. So I thought I could simplify things by just being in one main contest. So I've been playing the power sweep, which is the 3 entry $150 entry contest. And that way it kind of simplifies as I look at lineups. I know that I'm simming them all for the same contest. This is my team that did decent yesterday. Little 3X here, finished 105th. I'll read off the team for you. It was a Geno Smith double stack. Got him at 1.9%. Had DK Metcalf at 14.2%, JSN at 15.2%. Played Jahmyr Gibbs and Chuba Hubbard on this one. That worked out. Gibbs came in at 67%. I did not realize Jahmyr Gibbs was going to be 67. I thought he was going to be popular, but 67 is definitely eye-popping. Chuba Hubbard, though, at only 12.5%. The fatal flaw for this lineup was Puka Nacua, 8.6%. I believe I did not have the extra 200 to get up to Justin Jefferson here, but man, would that have been nice to find that in the couch cushions. I'm not going to tilt this too much because I had Bengals defense here who scored 18 points. You know, if I go Jefferson, I'm obviously coming off of Bengals defense and going down, but man, having those 39 points from Justin Jefferson would have been nice on this lineup. I don't really want to think about where I would have finished had I rearranged this. It's just so funny because old me would always force the bringbacks on these double stacks. And then you look at the sims, you look at what pops. Jefferson didn't have a massive projection either, so he wasn't showing up a lot. It was actually Jamar Chase who was showing up as a strong play in all of the optimizers and sims if you were using ETR projections like I was. So anyways, Puka Nacua, kind of my fatal flaw. Here, he only scores 13.6 points at 8.6%. And then my favorite part of this lineup, I knew I absolutely had to do this because there were so many dolts who were so offended by this play that JM did on the block party. And it was the double Patriots tight end. It was Hunter Henry at 4,100. It was Austin Hooper at 3,100. JM called it 7.2K Puka because of what their scores have been combining for over these past weeks. And for some reason, this like broke people's brains. There was multiple live chat comments be like, this is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. There were multiple comments after the fact. Like people were offended by this. And I literally can't wrap my head around why they were offended by this. Like why Austin Hooper is any different than any other sub 4K punt wide receiver. Hunter Henry scores 13.9 points. Austin Hooper scores 9.5 points. You're going to take 9.5 points from a $3,100 pump play every day of the week there. So I had to do that to own all the enumerates who couldn't wrap their head around why that was viable. And then Bengals D there puts up 18 points. So this lineup, man, I thought was going to have a chance to charge a little more. Obviously, Geno kind of falls apart at the end of that game, has a couple of those interceptions. They can't connect for another touchdown. Was hoping JSN could find the box again. But yeah, happy to break even in the power sweep. Wasn't able to climb up to the top of the leaderboard. Had I selected Justin Jefferson, we might have been able to climb up there, but I'm not going to tilt that too hard. Do love playing the Geno doubles though. All right. Before we go to my next lineups, I did promise a coffee pour. I did promise feeding the ducks. So let's get to that here quickly. I'm going to add some ducks. I think it's a morning. We'll do that. And then let me get the coffee pour here. This is the kind of stuff that I don't think like people get caught up with like the two players from the same team, or there's something that's breaking the brain about it. Like this is a game about getting the most points per dollar as you can in your lineup. And I just don't understand why people, the projection is the projection. Like if it was Hunter Henry and a $3,100 tight end, like say I'd use Michael Mayer on the Raiders, like, or Jordan Akins, then everyone's like, yes, great job, great job. Like if you go look at the usage for these tight ends, they've been getting usage commensurate with another punt play tight end on another team. I don't understand why this broke people's brains so much. I think people get so caught up into like narratives in their head or like who's the tight end one, who's the tight end two. I highly recommend looking at projections, looking at usage, and trying to separate in your brain what these plays mean. And the whole thesis behind JM's blocks ideas, this concept of blocks, is that you can capture points from a position group or from a team in a way that eliminates the number of things you have to get right. And the Patriots tight ends have been a huge part of their offense this year. What ended up winning the Millie Maker happened to be, it was Kayshon Boutte. I should actually pull that up. Did you guys see what won the Millie? Not there. Let me pull this up here. I think Stochastic tweet, or I actually might have bookmarked it. Yeah, I bookmarked it. Here we go. Look at this team that won the Millie. It's incredible. So Michael Penix Jr., who is the chalk quarterback at 19.1% with Falcons defense. That was the only correlation, I believe, in this entire lineup. Falcons D, obviously a piece you had to have. They went for 25 points. You have one off Jonathan Taylor, goes for 42. One off Chuba Hubbard, goes for 35. Kayshon Boutte goes for 20.5 at 1.4% ownership. JSN drops 24. Keenan Allen drops 32. George Kittle drops 21. And James Conner drops 29. Just an absolute gore. I guess Chuba and James Conner in the same lineup is some light correlation there. Otherwise, just a classic Millie Maker play. Like this is what the Millie Maker winning lineup should be. You look at this lineup and you say, I don't know what kind of drugs I would have to be on to land on this. It's incredible. I think I've said this before on these Millie Maker lineups. I want like a behind the scenes backstory on how this got made. I promise you a sim tool did not spit this out. I really hope. I mean, the thing is it's so fucked up that I just wonder, maybe it was something in an optimizer 150 set, because Michael Penix would have popped as a value and then his pass catchers weren't popping a ton. So maybe unstacked Michael Penix would get spit out. I have no clue. I love it though. Congratulations to UOFM 1506 on your $1 million, brother. Yes, penis to booty for a milky. Bonk narrative wins again. Thank you for that, Tyler. And you are very smart for understanding that you did indeed need to send $5.69 over for that chat to get read. Appreciate you, sir. All right. So that was my first team. Let's check out the other ones here. They did not come close to cashing. I had a Caleb Williams double stack with a Gibbs bringback as one of my other main stacks. This one, I I thought was going to be in good shape, but got kind of sunk at the bottom end of the lineup. Got Caleb Williams at 13.6%. DJ Moore came in at 24%. Definitely a little higher there. Or it was Keenan who came in a little higher than I think I anticipated at 21.7%. There was a lot of talk in the cram about steam coming on this stack. It was simming really well. I think it was popping in a few different projection sources, but tried to get unique around it elsewhere. Tyrone Tracy was kind of one of the pivots I made at running back there to get unique, 3.1%. Like I said, Jamar Chase was kind of popping as the top end wide receiver, played him at 15.5%. And then where this lineup got sunk was chalk Brenton Strange at 47%. And then I flexed Juwan Jennings at 5,900 at 10%. I thought he was a really strong play, especially at that ownership. And then Titans defense, 11.9%. They get -1 points. And I believe that is not good. So yeah, this team scores 151.86. I thought this stack was looking real hot there for a second. Tyrone Tracy had a touchdown called back. So a couple things didn't break quite right. But again, you really had to have at least 2 of the 3 running backs who went nuts to win any money yesterday in this lineup. Only had 1 of them. And then my worst lineup was a Brock Purdy double stack. Really liked the spot for Brock, George Kittle, and Juwan Jennings. Got Brock Purdy at 3.6%, Kittle at 5.2%, Juwan Jennings at 9.8%. I chickened out too. I said I said in the Discord that I was thinking about playing Deebo Samuel. He was simming actually really well. And of course I bullied the sim to include Kittle and Jennings instead of Deebo with one of Kittle or Jennings. And if I would have done Kittle with Deebo, that would have worked out decently, but still didn't have the necessary pieces here. Rest of the lineup played Alexander Madison, again, as kind of a low-owned pivot there at 5.1%. This lineup also had Gibbs. I lock-buttoned Gibbs across my 3 lineups yesterday. Jacoby Myers at 17.8%. That play flopped. Devontae Adams at 12.3%. That was one of my favorite plays on the slate. I mentioned that on the cram. He had a decent game, 19.8 points. A.D. Mitchell was kind of my favorite pivot for punt play wide receiver off of kind of the Malik Washington shock. That did not hit. He had the 1 catch, deep catch for 36 yards, but Jonathan Taylor was chewing up all of the production there. And then Giants defense, we talked about that on the cram. I know a few of us were on that at 2,400. They only scored 2 points. So this lineup, not going to get there, but feel decent about how I played yesterday. Kind of wish I would have gotten on the Jayden Daniels stuff a little bit. That just barely missed the cut for me. I'm always just such a sucker for these double stacks and building around a game or one specific offense, and did not get paying up for Jayden Daniels and Barkley, although that would have worked out pretty decent as well. Let's see what took down first place in this contest. It was Phil Daddy, 20, had, again, very similar stack to me, had the Caleb, Keenan, Rome, and Gibbs, but then, just played the best plays around it. Let's see, Jonathan Taylor at 5%, had Deebo Samuel at 10%, and Achane at 6.5%. This is a really strong lineup. This is like the opposite of the Millie Maker lineup, where you look at this one and it just makes complete sense. Double stack with the Gibbs bringback. Jonathan Taylor correlated with the defense. Deebo Samuel and Achane mini correlation, and a one-off Hunter Henry at tight end. No notes. Perfect lineup. 219.76 points, $100,000. Very, very strong. This was like an amalgam of my 2 teams, but just in a much better way in picking the best plays instead of the bad plays. 0% JT support group. Yeah, it's funny. He was my second most drafted running back on Underdog last week, which we'll pull up here in a second. But I did not get to him on DraftKings. Obviously, in retrospect, 6,900, 5% ownership, uber smash play there. I basically, like I said, lock buttoned Gibbs and then kind of cycled through the pairings I had with him. So I did Gibbs Hubbard, did Gibbs Tracy, and then Gibbs Madison. But fatal flaw having no running backs in the flex this week. This was definitely a week you needed a running back in the flex. I mean, I compiled some of the running back scores in the Fantasy Life newsletter that posted, and I'll just read a few of them here. So Taylor, these are half point, these are like underdog scores. Taylor 39.8, Chuba Hubbard 30.5, Achane 28, James Cook 26.1, Barkley 27, Connor 24.6, Gibbs 23.4, Bijan 23.3, Ford 21.6, Kyron 19.4. Just a massive day for the running backs on the whole. Let's head over and check out the Deposit Kingdom contest. We did fill it this week with 800 entries. So pat yourself on the back. Deposit Kingdom. Looks like my Geno double stack finished in 27th place. Let's see who took it down. Easymoney TY 13 had the Caleb Williams, DJ Moore, Keenan Allen, Gibbs bringback. And then had double bringback, Sam Laporta. That's nice. So Laporta and Gibbs playing a full-blown game stack there. James Conner at 25%, Brian Thomas Jr. at 16.9%, and then flex Josh Downs there at 9.6%. Oh man, they burned their flex early. Look at that. Josh Downs should be in the wide receiver position. Brian Thomas Jr. should be in the flex position. That's a no-no. I'm going to have to ask you to PayPal me those $1,200. I'll send it back to DraftKings. We'll tell him, hey, he burned his flex early. Actually shouldn't have been eligible to win. That's tough luck, Easymoney. That's tough luck. Sorry that we can't properly celebrate you in your big lineup, but congratulations on flexing, not using an optimizer or sim tool though, and hand building this one. Josh Downs in the flex. Rough scene here. Splendy takes second and knows to put Brian Thomas Jr. in the flex. Caleb Williams, Gibbs, Connor, Metcalf, DJ Moore, Keenan, Henry, Brian Thomas, Colt. So very similar lineup. Played the double stack with the Gibbs bringback, Hunter Henry, Brian Thomas. Man, Brian Thomas, what a revelation, man. That guy has been on an absolute scorcher. I posted his game logs over the past few weeks in my pick six column here on Fantasy Life. Past 4 games, 4 for 76 and a touchdown, 10 targets 4 weeks ago, then 8 for 86 on 12 targets, 10, 105 and 2 on 14 targets, 9, 132 and 1 on 13 targets. Just a fucking stone cold rookie league winner, best rookie wide receiver asset this year, coming on when it matters the most. Brian Thomas Jr., great stuff there. Equin Sue here also had the Caleb Williams. Wow, look at this team. This team jammed in Barkley, Gibbs, and Taylor. Holy shit. How did this team not do better? Like, just eyeballing this team, I would have thought it won. Caleb double, Barkley, Gibbs, Taylor, Malik Washington punt, Sam Laporta at tight end. It was Giants defense, I think, was the fatal flaw. What defense did our other two have? Colts had 6. Okay, they both had Colts. So yeah, that was the difference. Only getting 2 points from the defense because, man, that is a monster team to hit on that double stack and the 3 running backs there that combined for what? Over 100 points from your 3 running backs. Sick team there. Jesse J-Dog also had the Caleb. This one had Chuba. Also had my Juwan Jennings play there. Zach, I know, said he logged in and realized he finished 5th. Had the Brock Purdy with Kittle and Debo. Very nice. David Moore ended up being a nice punt play at 3,600. He scores that touchdown. Went with both the D Moores here. Very nice. Had Achan opposite or as the bring back on that stack. Very nice. Man, yesterday was a great day to force the bring back, right? You have the Brock Purdy double with Kittle and Debo. You bring it back with Achan, slam. You play the Geno double. You bring it back with Jefferson, smash. My guy Trev in 7th place here also had the Caleb Williams double. The one-off Justin Jefferson, beautiful. Get that 39.4. Man, look at that ownership on Jefferson, 3.6%. I was tabbing through the power sweep yesterday, and I couldn't find a Justin Jefferson team. It was crazy how few teams had him. Obviously, he was a must-have piece to win money on Underdog yesterday with that massive score. This is a sick team. I like this. This is the Caleb Williams double, and then you play a Jefferson Metcalf mini correlation there. Obviously, Gibbs on the bring back, and then you go cheap with Tyrone Tracy, Hunter Henry, and Raiders. Really strong team there. Yeah, Titans DST. We got some Skolansky bucks with it though, right? We're like, hey, everyone's jamming Anthony Richardson. You know what I just remembered too? Wasn't there a team I looked at on the cram that was simming really well? That was JT opposite Titans defense, and I was like, never in a million years would I play my running back against my defense. I would take the Titans -1 if it meant getting, did anyone in here play Jonathan Taylor? How many points did he end up scoring? Whatever. That would have been a worthy trade-off. Oh, here's Equin here. I was in first in the DK League going into the 4 p.m. games and held there the entire time before being chased down by Brian Thomas on the final drive. Man, I will say just in general, and this has been the case now for 3 straight weeks. I felt like we had a stretch there where the 4 p.m. games were dudding out in a big way. And man, the past few weeks, the 4 p.m. games have had just a flurry of scoring at the end. I was in a similar spot as you. I was in first place in the fullback dive on Underdog for most of the day. I knew I was going to get chased down by a couple of teams, but I went from winning that to well outside of any meaningful money because that Brian Thomas Jr. touchdown followed by the Justin Jefferson second touchdown, it just completely flipped leaderboards on its head yesterday. No lead was safe heading into the second half of those games. And not to mention Achan as well. Just so many big scores coming in late. You could not get cozy at the top of the leaderboard yesterday. When we are in the best ball section, can we talk about how high BTJ is going to go next year? We can talk about it right now. I wrote about it in the Fantasy Life Pick 6 column last week. I said at the time, there's no way I'm going to let Brian Thomas Jr. escape the 3rd round of drafts. And I think that was too conservative. I don't think he's escaping the 2nd round of drafts. He might not even escape the mid-second, right? He's going to go where Nico Collins went last year. He's going to go, ahead of where Malik Neighbors was going. He's going to go somewhere between where Marvin Harrison went this year at the 1-2 turn and where Nico went in the middle of the 2nd round. Is that a fair range? I kind of feel like that's where he's going to settle. I mean, we were all drafting Marvin Harrison at the 1-2 turn sight unseen. Now we just watch this guy fucking ball out. He might be a back end of round 1. The price might continue to go up just as I keep spitballing on this. He might be a 1-2 turn pick. Yeah, we'll see. It'll be, there's still a lot to shake out, obviously, with how the market is going to perceive these players. I think a safe estimation would be a mid-second round pick for him, depending on where these running backs settle. For example, think about someone like JT, right? JT, where would he have gone otherwise before yesterday? If JT has another big game in the fantasy finals next week, JT is going to be one of those guys that pushes a player like BTJ back. So the story on this year and how the ADP is going to shake out is not done yet. But yeah, hard to say anything bad about Brian Thomas Jr. I mean, what he's doing with that quarterback play, how he's doing it, you know, a combination of earning targets while also still having the big playability. It's awesome. All right, let's, speaking of this, imagine if Ben Johnson takes the Jacksonville job. I assume that you guys saw the trick play yesterday. Did you guys see this? This was incredible. I assume most people saw it, but just in case anyone didn't, this play was completely orchestrated by Ben Johnson. It was Jared Goff pretends like he stumbles. Jahmyr Gibbs pretends like he falls down. And then the sideline, Craig Reynolds said after the game that the sideline was yelling like ball, 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 as if the ball had been fumbled. Like the entire team is in on this bit. And then he just throws a dart to Sam Laporta. I mean, this is incredible. Jahmyr Gibbs selling it and Laporta just stays running. This team, man. My only criticism, and I said this in the piece, is like, why aren't we saving this for the playoffs? Like, this play is the nuts here. Why aren't we watching this play in the NFC Championship game? Because now the cat is out of the bag there. But that was one of the fun highlights from yesterday. It's funny you say Little League fake thrown to the outfield. So my Little League or whatever, my basketball team, when I was in, like, I think I started playing in like 2nd or 3rd grade, we had a trick play that was an inbounds play that was kind of like this. And it was when we were under the basket, under our own basket, and we had an inbounds play, we had this thing that we would do where the ref would hand me the ball to pass it in, or whoever. And so once the ref hands you the ball, like the play has started, you got to inbound it. But then my coach would yell from the sideline, like, hey, Pete, no, like Tim needs to inbound it. And everyone would kind of like stop. And Tim would walk up to the hoop. And then I'd just do a cheeky little bounce pass to him because everyone thought like, oh, they're going to change who the inbound play is. I always loved having that trick play. It's kind of Bush League the more I think about it, like 3rd grade basketball, but all is fair in love and war, apparently. All right. I think we're good on DraftKings. Let's head over to the dog app. All kinds of stuff to discuss, and we got to make some extra time for best ball stuff. But let's head over and start with Battle Royale action here. I had kind of one of those rough days in that, I nearly broke even on my entry fees, but I thought I was going to have a smash day. I was winning the fullback dive. I was winning the blitz. I had a couple teams that I thought were going to charge in BR. But like I said, it all came crashing down. I'll show you guys my exposures here first. And that can kind of set the table. So I had 210 teams yesterday, max the BR, max most of the side contests, had a massive bag of George Kittle. Feel good about that. Had Puka as my highest drafted wide receiver. That did not work out well. Had a ton of Adams, had a ton of Chase Brown, but then had some good stuff here. Like my running back stuff after Chase Brown, JT 20%, Gibbs 17%, Chuba 17%, Barkley 17%, Connor 16%, Etienne 15%. Thought like, holy shit, outside of Chase Brown, all of my top running back exposures to have those mixed and matched were in pretty good shape, but just couldn't get a team to the top of the leaderboard yesterday. Let's take a look at the winning Battle Royale team. Jay Sar here. I believe I've seen this username multiple times. This is like one of those classic, straightforward, uncorrelated lineups, and it's nearly a team you could have auto-drafted off of ETR ranks, honestly. ETR was a little bit lower on Justin Jefferson in their ranks, but they were very high on Chuba and Jonathan Taylor. They were above market on Jaden Daniels, Brock Bowers. Like, you legit could have gone Jamar Chase round 1, then you get a Jefferson slide. You take him, you grab Brock Bowers in the 3rd, you come back and grab, what did he do first? Did he do Chuba first? I'm guessing Chuba. yeah, Chuba in the 4th, Jonathan Taylor in the 5th, and then holy shit, Jayden Daniels, yeah, falls to the 6th in this one. I guess in a decent amount of drafts, Jayden Daniels was going in the 6th. But man, no forced correlation here. Just the best plays at every position. And yeah, not a lot to say about this other than you too could have drafted this lineup. I'm honestly kind of surprised it wasn't duped just with how straightforward this was, because Chuba and JT projected as like the best kind of late round running backs after, you know, the Kyrens were off the board. You know, these were the next two that you would take if you went early wide receiver. Yeah, so incredible stuff there from Jazar. Second place, just right behind him, had a 1v1 of Kittle to Bowers. That's how close this shit is at the top. Kittle scores 14.6. Bowers scores 15.4. Ryan right below him had a 1v1 of Achane off of Hubbard. Again, just so close up here. Hubbard scores 30.5. Achane scores 28. So just nearly off there. Roto Surgeon here had a Bijan and Brian Thomas pivot off of the nuts. Brian Thomas opposite Brock Bowers with a nice mini there. Yeah, had to be perfect yesterday with so many top scores there. But yeah, I was happy with how I played in BR. Felt good about my exposures. This was my best team here. This was a Caleb to Keenan with Amon-Ra bringback. Had Barkley and JT with Brock Bowers. My other one, I had a Jayden Daniels with Barkley, Taylor, Amon-Ra, Adams, and then this one had Jonnu. So yeah, Jonnu doesn't keep pace with those other tight ends, and you just had to have Justin Jefferson at wide receiver. I did not have enough Justin Jefferson with my top combos, and when I did, you know, this team had Josh Allen on it. This was a Josh Allen, Achane, JT, Justin Jefferson, JSN, Hunter Henry team. Again, pretty solid, but the Josh Allen score there is a big bummer. Kind of surprised not to see, I guess, yeah. So yeah, Jayden Daniels was an absolute had to have it piece up here at 36.42. He just scored so much higher than the rest of the field. I guess we how far would we have to scroll to find a non-Jayden Daniels? Probably a long ways. Had to have Jayden Daniels. There's a Joe Burrow team in 44th place. You know, if you hit the nuts everywhere else, Chuba, JT, Chase, Jefferson, Brock. But yeah, needed Jayden Daniels yesterday. All right. Producer Mark is letting me know that my audio and video is starting to flicker a little bit. Let me refresh my screen here, guys. Hold tight for 1 sec. I'm going to refresh my browser. Are you guys experiencing any glitchiness? I'm going to go ahead and just try it just to make sure we're good to go. All right, Mark, let me know if that is any better. We'll get back in the lab here. All right, thanks, guys. Appreciate the feedback. Let me know how that goes. All right, let's bounce around here a little bit. Lots to look at. So the fullback dive, I was in first place with this team for most of the day. I was pretty excited about this team. Obviously, at the end, it was a Jayden Daniels, Barkley, Taylor, and Terry McLaurin, Devontae Adams, and then fucking Trey McBride, man. Fucking Trey McBride staring at this team all day was absolute pain. But yeah, I thought this team was going to, be in a good spot. This is a smaller tournament, only 1,100 entries. I thought like the Daniels, Barkley, Taylor, Adams, McLaurin would kind of be enough. And again, obviously, once Justin Jefferson drops a 30 ball, once Brian Thomas goes for 20 plus, I was dead there. So yeah, this team was hanging around for a while. Felt good about this combo. This was a structure or a team that I wanted to have in the small field, a Daniels, Barkley, and McLaurin, and then fortunate to have it paired with JT here. But like I said, got completely axed late. Shout out to Rydock, takes it down, had the exact same core, the Daniels, Barkley, McLaurin, Taylor, but had the way better 2v2 instead of Adams and McBride, had Brian Thomas and Brock Bowers. And that is definitely what you needed there to take that down. Congratulations to Rydock. Had another team that was charging and min cashed here. It was a Darnold to Jefferson and Hawk with JSN bring back. Did have JT here, but unfortunately Chase Brown. And again, there were so many solid scores yesterday that you just couldn't afford a 12.4 from one of your running back slots. You had to have one of those other guys there. I bricked out in DeBomb. What was my best team? I had a Caleb, Barkley, Connor, DJ Moore, Keenan. So yeah, I wanted to run a double stack in DeBomb. Okay lineup, but again, didn't get a nuclear score or the JT score. And then, the DJ Moore 10.5 is not going to cut it there. Let's see what Schwain Bomber took it down with again. Oh, so this is the exact same team that Rydock had in the fullback dive. This exact same team won here. Jane Daniels, Barkley, JT, Brian Thomas, Terry McLaurin, and Brock Bowers. And again, pretty good illustration of the differences between the main BR and these smaller fields, right? In the smaller field, the correlation with Jane Daniels and Terry McLaurin made it easier to get on this lineup. In the big BR, you needed to have not only not Terry McLaurin, because a lot of other wide receivers outscored him, but then you also needed to have, Chuba's score instead of Barkley's. So you're able to get away with these, the correlation a little bit more in the smaller contests. Shout out to Awin here. Had a nice team. Trey McBride. And then Nez here finishes in 7th. With a Jayden Daniels Bijan JT team. Crutches in 10th with a Jayden Daniels Chase Puka. Man, Puka broke my heart yesterday. This was the Blitz. I finished in 4th here. I was in first place of this one for a little bit as well yesterday. This team, I liked this contest. I don't think Underdog has run this every week. It's a $75 single entry. With only 144 entrants. Had a Geno Smith to Jamar Chase skinny stack in this one. Wish I would have had Jefferson as the bring back instead of no bring back, but had James Conner and Jonathan Taylor on this one, and then George Kittle here. So this team does pretty well, finishes in 4th place there. Ended up getting the blade from Stars late. It was Brock Bowers who actually hunted me down in this one, in Achane and Brock Bowers, because I was ahead of this team for most of the day. And then, Devon Achane rips off that huge touchdown run there and pushes me down. So yeah, it was one of those days where I think I had like 2,000 in entry fees, get 1,600 back, which again, I'm not going to complain. Anytime you can mostly break even playing tournaments, you chalk that up as a W, but definitely got teased a little bit having some bigger scores there, and then we're wiped out by Jefferson, Achane, and Brian Thomas Jr. I'm going to pour a little bit more coffee here, and then we can check in on some of the other contests, including the Deposit Kingdom League. I want to take a peek at the goal line stand. And then we'll check in on best ball. I think I got one more coffee pouring me. And yes, anyone who watched the cram yesterday knew I was getting very mad when everyone was calling him McGronk. We're done with that. Much better play on DraftKings where you get the PPR scam. He's been a very high floor player this year. I mean, he has been a piece that has helped people win contests on Underdog. When you compare him to Brock Bowers, Brock Bowers has been way more erratic as far as or volatile with his production than say McBride. Kittle has been the answer all year. Like it's like every week you choose between McBride or Bowers, and the answer is generally just play Kittle a few picks later. But yeah, it hurts. A guy who doesn't find the end zone on Underdog is not a great recipe for success. I certainly bought into the narrative that they were going to force feed him a touchdown yesterday. I love the matchup, but you can see and I said this when we did off and on the clock too, and my exposures back this up. I was like, I'm going to take my McBride. I'm going to be slightly overweight or whatever, but I prefer Kittle by a big amount. You can see here I had 26% Kittle, Brock Bowers 15%, McBride 14.9, and then Jonnu right behind him at 14.5. And that perfectly reflects my sentiment about how I felt about the tight ends yesterday. It's just really tough with McBride and how this offense is running right now to see kind of the nuclear ceiling game from him in the ways that we've seen from Kittle and Bowers. All right, let's check in on the Deposit Kingdom League. Thank you, KZ, for always being my coffee hype man, even when I feel like I dropped the ball. We'll get to this unless no, not right now, Hodge. There is an outside chance that the one BBM team could get in, but it's going to take a pretty big miracle. We'll get there in a second. What's up, Crutches? Rondo says Kyler is the problem. I do agree about this. With McBride, my frustration isn't with him as a talent. I think in a lot of different spots. If you put Trey McBride in the Niners offense in place of George Kittle, I think he would have a monster year. I do think there are a lot of systemic issues with Kyler, with that offense. But yeah, frustrating there for us McBride slappies, of which I consider myself very much one, but I have adjusted in the dailies as we've progressed throughout the year. All right, shout out to J Crib here, takes down the BR or this holy shit. I know I always do this. I can't help myself. I'm always curious where this would have finished. 172.82 with a Jayden Daniels, James Cook, Jonathan Taylor, Justin Jefferson, Brian Thomas, Brock Bowers. That's a sick team. And I'm sorry to do this to you. 172. Holy shit. This team almost would have shipped BR. We didn't see any James Cook at the top there. This was 0.1 points off of first place. Holy shit. Man, that might be the biggest score we've seen here in the Deposit Kingdom League, because you have the Jayden Daniels, and then Cook is right up there with Chuba, Jonathan Taylor, and then Jefferson and Brian Thomas with Brock Bowers. Man, that is a sick team. Congrats, J Crib. Hopefully you had a version of this lineup in some other spots as well. Takes down the $2,000 prize. Chido here, Jayden Daniels, James Cook, Jonathan Taylor, Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, and George Kittle. PJ finishes in third. Again, all of these lineups are going to look pretty similar. This one has Daniels, Gibbs, Taylor, BTJ, JSN, and Brock Bowers. Can we just take a second to kind of appreciate JSN a little bit? I mean, talk about a guy, he hasn't had quite the explosion that BTJ has had, but he has been the epitome of not sinking your teams, whether in best ball, whether you're taking him in the dailies. He's just been a rock solid contributor down the stretch. I guess against the Jets, he had one game under 10 points, but 16, 10, 17, 13, 20, just earning targets at a high rate. Been really fun to see JSN kind of morph into the player that we all thought he could be. And just to see him healthy, to see Gino, looking at him as his first read throughout all of these tight spots, him making big catches too. There are a lot of accusations that he didn't have the dog in him. You see some of those catches JSN is making. He's got the dog in him. So yeah, stoked for JSN to see him coming into his own there. Looks like Chipsy finished in 9th here with a Josh Allen team. Wow. Was able to finish top 10 with a Josh Allen team. Had the nutted running back pairing there, though, of Chuba and JT. See my guy Steampunk Mario. No Jared Goff stack, Yosh. No Jared Goff stack. Normally you're playing the hits there. Jayden Daniels, Bijan, James Cook, Jefferson, JSN, and George Kittle. I did an entire explainer on the story of this hat at the top of the show. You can wind back and hear the story between my hat. I had to wrestle it away from my 2-year-old. Yeah, this is going to be like a bit... I'm both like looking forward to and dreading some of the off-season discourse as we, get back in the lab to, evaluate players and ranges of outcomes and who we can draft and who we can't draft. But, Steven says here, sometimes it takes guys the second or third year to improve. And we've gotten really spoiled, just because we've entered an era of, NFL football where these rookies can be immediate contributors. But sometimes they're on just a slightly slower trajectory. Sometimes it might take 2 years. Maybe it takes 3 years for a tight end, etc. So, yeah, I am with you on that. It is sometimes hard to separate, who is an actual flop, who do you need to cut bait from. I've been having horror stories or flashbacks. I wrote a column for Fantasy Life this offseason where I was like, I'm not falling for the bullshit on Jameson Williams and Rashad Bateman. They all had the positive coach speak, and I'm like, this is a fool me twice, shame on me situation. And then watching Rashad Bateman and Jameson Williams being guys you need, advance rate monsters here in the playoffs. It's a humbling game. It's a really humbling game. There's exceptions to every rule, and no matter how good you are at parsing this stuff, you're going to have a ton of misses on these players. Ryan says, can I get some love for taking down the Wildcat? First ever tourney win. Same exact team as the BR champ. Yeah, man, I saw you tag me on Twitter on that. We were going to get to the Wildcat. But as you beg for it, of course. Ryan here, 8K with the same team there, 172.92. Daniels, Chuba, Jonathan Taylor, Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, Brock Bowers. Congrats, man. Very nice team. Very nice little payday there in the Wildcat. Man, I did not do good in the Wildcat. Although I had 40 teams. What did I do here? I had one Daniels, Barkley, McLaurin, but it had Puka on it. Did have JT, did have Kittle, but that Puka is not going to get it done. Was clicking Puka too much over Justin Jefferson. That's definitely going to sting. Let's check out the goal line stand. Gut P Crusher on the site takes first. Our guy Dave over at ETR gets second, going through dog bowl withdrawals, hops in here. Charlie, I saw Charlie at the top of the leaderboard there for a little bit. I assume that was an agonizing sweat for Charlie there. Had the Caleb Williams to Keenan with the Jameson Williams bring back. Then let's see here. Best Ball Viper, the Dog Bowl champ, finishes in 5th. Patrick Barnes YouTube of Davis Maddock YouTube fame finishes in 11th. Charlie up here littering the top of the leaderboard. Man, it was definitely a day you had to be perfect. Like, you look at this lineup, this is my best team. I had Geno, JSN, Metcalf, Achan, Debo, Mini, Correlation, and Brock Bowers. I think I drafted this one on the Cram stream. This one, looks like a nice lineup, and then it's just not even close. It's 30 points off of first place because you had to have JT up there to take down any prizes. That JT Chuba combo, really nice. Where did you get those? Pick 30 and took Chuba at 19. Okay. Yeah, so you did have to pull one of those guys up a little earlier. Do I sound that bad? I actually feel good. I just have a stuffed up, a little bit of a cold. All right. Let's see. Is there any other daily stuff we need to look at here? Who won the Badge Bros Brawl? Charlie 7 takes down Badge Bros Brawl. Not a scroll down week. I will tell you that. Not a good scroll down week. I mean, I felt good about my gems. Caleb was in the mix there until Jayden went nuts. I thought DK was going to look good there. But yeah, Brian Robinson had a fucking awful case of the fumbles. Alexander Madison was solid, but not on a day where every running back goes nuclear. And then Brenton Strange was the flop. So maybe my gems weren't actually that good. Caleb and DK I thought had a chance, but man, not a scroll down slate whatsoever. All right, let's head over and check in on best ball. I don't think I have anything good cooking. I'm advancing my Chow Chow right now, but I don't think it has a chance. So this team was in second, and the reason this is kind of heartbreaking is because this team was in first until the fourth quarter of Sunday Night Football, and with 2 advancing in the Chow Chow, there's one of these teams, I think it's Fantasy Dog Pound. Yeah, he has Jordan Love, he has Jacobs, he has Watson. So this team is going to hunt me down. Love will start scoring after 12.5. Jacobs will start scoring after 9.4. So this team is going to score points, but you had a little bit of a cushion here. So I'm sitting in first. And CeeDee Lamb, it looked like, was out for the game. He played 1 snap in the second quarter, and then they bring him on for that one play there at the very end of the game where he caught that little 5-yard out route to the sideline. So this team has CeeDee Lamb, and it gets to 14 points. So he had that one catch. So now I'm behind here by point. What is this? 0.16? 0.16 because of that CD catch. So if that CD catch doesn't happen, I'm in first and then can survive getting jumped by Dog Pound most likely. And I haven't gone through these other ones. I think there's another Jacobs team down here. But anyways, I'm going to likely get the Blade in the Chow Chow because CeeDee Lamb, who could barely even walk, decided to come back in the game for 1 catch. Thank you for that, CeeDee. I appreciate it. So yeah, the dream of the Chow Chow was probably going to die. The BBM team that I have with the ship chasing guys, this team is in 4th, and it needs a 30 ball from Jayden Reed. It needs a 30 ball, so it's 19 points out. We have Jayden Reed here who needs to score more than 11.7 to hit the lineup. So I think it's 30 point something that he needs to get. So this team is likely not going to advance. But as I said earlier, Jayden Reed is either scoring 4 or 30 points tonight. So if it's the latter, that could be a fun come from behind sweat, but not looking too hot for me there. And then the only other team I had in the semis is this puppy team that is dead. In fact, dead fucking last here. So your boy is likely gonna brick out in best ball there. So no good sweats for me. Two Battle Bros says best ball. That's what we've been waiting for. Well, guess what? This is, I had my designer this year add the schedule for the show. And I think it doesn't work because sometimes people will come in here. I remember Chris G on one of the shows off and on the clock being like, what are you drafting a dog bowl? And I'm like, why don't you just look at the schedule right below here and you can see the order. If someone's wondering when we're going to do Guillotine, guess what? It's after best ball. And if someone's wondering when we're going to do pick'ems, it's after Guillotine. We were always going to get to best ball. It's on the docket. I promise. All right. Sorry for that rant. Let's see. I believe our guy, Patrick Donovan, has a few different sweat stuff up on BBM here. Also, shout out to PD. I had him on After Dark on Saturday night. Really fun conversation with him. Dude is such a good dude. So pure, not even a high volume best ball player. I think he said he had 1 BBM entry. Just a really sharp dude who loves building stuff, who loves best ball, and has had a lot of fun building these tools. If you're a YouTube member of any level, you can go back and watch that. Highly recommend it. Just had a really fun conversation with him. Super humble, super down to earth, and love everything that he's doing over here with bbmdb.com. As far as people we know with BBM teams, I see our guy Chess Liam. I believe he has one or two. I think he's going to be live for 12 hours today, talking about those two teams. So if you get sick of this stream, you can head over there and listen to Chess Liam tickle the balls of his own teams. Then you know who else has a team? My guy Andy 8052. You guys remember him from the club. He has a team here that is going to advance most likely. Pretty fun team there. Is going to get a low Josh Allen into the championship, which sounds fun. JT, Chase Brown, Chuba team, Amon-Ra, Metcalf, Keenan. Good luck to Andy. Who else got teams in? Eli, you got a team? There you are. Let's see what your team looks like. Jayden Daniels, Jared Goff, Darnold, Jacobs, James Cook, Chase Brown, Braylon Allen, Bucky, Jefferson, Marvin Harrison, man. Advancing a team to the BBM finals with Marvin Harrison is honestly an incredible feat. Like when you consider JT and Barkley and Gibbs and like so many of those other like early round 2 guys, or just a lot of other non-Marvin Harrison players who did well. That's honestly impressive. Pete, if I had one shot, one opportunity to seize everything you wanted in one moment, would you capture it or let it slip? If you look at my best ball teams, apparently the answer would be you'd let it slip. You would let it slip. I actually did torture myself. I need you guys to let me know. So I had one, this is like the worst exercise you can do. Like this is the dumbest thing you can do for your mental health. I was looking at the team I drafted with Sean that bubbled last week, barely missing out. We needed one more Brock Bowers catch. I want you guys to tell me if you think this would have advanced this week. So here's the team. So this team scored 149.26, 1 point out of first, 150.38, slightly less or slightly more than 1 point. It had Brock Bowers at 5 points. So it like needed one more Brock Bowers catch for 6 yards. And whatever, it didn't happen. Tell me, do you think this team would have advanced? Obviously, there's pod luck, there's pod dynamics. Jayden Daniels, Jahmyr Gibbs. It would have had a low score from Chase Brown or Bucky Irving, but would have had the Daniels-Gibbs combo. Zay Flowers, T. Higgins, Xavier Worthy, JSN. Those 4, I think, would have hit the lineup. And then Brock Bowers at tight end, who scored like 15. I think it would have been close. But I didn't see a ton of Jayden Daniels. I kind of want to see what is the advance rate of Jayden Daniels in the okay. Yeah, so a decent amount of Jayden Daniels teams there advancing, which makes sense. You know, there was no like opportunity cost to where you had to select Jayden Daniels. I do love that that he's gone nuke. He was just one of the best picks on the board all of best ball season. Deserves to drag some teams to the finals there. Oh shit, we have a Flock 2 finalist in our presence? Jeez. Are you taking the rest of the week off from work, Chris, to pre-celebrate? Don't worry. I don't I appreciate the attempts at math. In 48th right now for BBM. Let's see, where are you? B Ziggs had a Lamar, Caleb, JT Cook, Connor, man, getting Puka, that's nice. Puka, Keenan, JSN, Downs. You still got Dobbs to go tonight. Kelsey, Likely, Otten. Very nice. Very nice. Yeah, the team, our BBM one with the ship chasing guys, I told them we were dead yesterday. I think like Gretsch checked in with me. And I was like, we're dead. And then this is what I said. I legit wrote to them. I was like, I said, sadly, we're way out of first right now, even with our Justin Jefferson nuke. Need a big Achane TD to even put us in striking distance with the Bucks guys going, because we're 40 plus back right now. And then literally like 20 minutes later, Achane goes for that 50-yard TD. The disappointing thing was, Baker does eclipse Drake May, so that hits the lineup. Don't even take Evans points. And then we do get the 14.2 from Jalen McMillan. Man, if Jalen McMillan would have scored on that long TD there at the end, I know a lot of people in the Discord were rooting for that as well. That would have been pretty huge, because then all of a sudden you need, a 20 ball from Jayden Reed to get in instead of a 30 ball. It also hurt we had a 0 from Cade Otten, so we had to rely on Mark Andrews' score here. So yeah, again, not holding out much hope for this one to survive, but, chip in a chair, a little hope. Dude, it's so annoying. Grudge is talking about my 12-person drafts, because I feel bad. I got lazy. Like I used to name these, because these are randomizer drafts too. It's just like the most inconsequential drafts I did all summer. These bit drafts. Here's the randomizer with Tyler. And this is what when I log in, I just have to scroll past all these. May 30th, randomizer draft with Matt Harmon. And then I forgot to label some of these. I think this one might have been, this was a 12-person draft. This is probably, I don't know which one these were. See, I should have named all of these. Who's winning the world's fastest slow draft? Holy shit. It is the year of Mathology. Mathology winning the world's fastest slow draft. I do feel bad. Mathology, I believe, did not advance a team to the finals after having a really nice, obvious regular season. I believe he had 6 teams in the semis. It's a brutal, brutal game we play. Mathology, man. He had we had the beer hats on for that world's fastest draft. What's so funny about reading this is, for a second I thought that there might have actually been 47 mini schnauzers. I could go for a beer right now. I realized I suck at pre-NFL draft contests. Apparently me too, although I did not go hard. I abstained this year. I think I did the biggest board. What was that? The 3 max? $100 3 max. And then I think I had like 25 big boards. And I'm warning you right now, I am taking another break. You guys are going to have to turn to other content creators for your big board fix. Because when Underdog drops the fucking 2025 big board, they're gonna drop it in like a month. And I'm gonna no. I need a little break. Gotta sit it out. Need to recharge the batteries a little bit. Davis Maddock, I promise you will be streaming big board drafts the second they open. You can get your 2025 big board fix with Davis. Oh man, I'm getting like a headache just thinking about 2025 big board right now. I haven't even mentally turned over the calendar in my head to playoff best ball. I haven't drafted a single playoff best ball team. One step at a time. Spags will take care of you. That's right. Mini Schnauzer 3. Big Mitten. Yeah, I'm looking forward to some of the more time-boxed playoff best ball contests. I'm also looking forward to cash game week. I'll tell you what, these tournament swings, it's too much. The volatility in these tournaments is too much. I want to play a sport, God's game, if you will, where I can just eke out a 3.5% ROI. I'm sick of just clicking any button and saying, in a GPP. I'm ready to talk about my want plays, my must plays. I'm ready to tell every single one of you to send me a head-to-head. I am ready to ship the double doink. One more week. One more week of tournament bro, GPP bro play. We're going to go hard in week 17. We're going to go out with a bang. And then we're done with this fucking tournament shit. It's time to become the cash game king. I hope you guys are getting your shells ready. Because I'm not going to be fucking around this year. Do I have any more coffee? I really could go for more coffee, and I am fresh out. All right. Anything else we want to look at? Is there any other... I know everyone is excited to talk about best ball. How about this? Everyone in the chat right now, right? What do you need tonight? What do you need to advance that one team? I already told you what I need. I need Jordan Love and Josh Jacobs to come down with a debilitating illness. And then I need Jayden Reed with Malik Washington at quarterback to score 30. That's what I need. What do you need? Let's air it all out. Let's manifest it. Here we go. I'm going to read these out, and then let's see if we can thread the needle. This is what I'll do. I will grade these on a scale of 1 to 100 on how realistic it is. A 0 is 0 chance this is happening. 100 is 100% chance this is happening. I will grade these. Christian Watson less than 9.9. 74. 37 points from Jordan Love. 4. Jacobs sub 21.8. 61. Love Reed to go big time or Wicks just one time to give us 20. 16. Need Josh Jacobs under 51 points. 100. Ding, 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 ding. A 3-3 game. 4. A time machine. 100%. 40 each from Weed and Wicks. 0. Need Juwan Johnson to not score more than 13 fantasy points. 71. Josh Jacobs needs 16. 69. Josh Jacobs can get me 3 teams advancing to 7 with varying scores from 7.3 to 17.9. 98. 54. 49. You need 15 from Reed. 36. 23 from Jacobs on DK. 27. A double IPA, 100. I need Jacobs not to get 50, 100. I need Jacobs to not score 34, 94. Tucker Kraft, 30 points, easy game. 2. Need to fade a Kendry 25-pointer. 84. Tucker Kraft, 20. 13. 70 from Dobbs and Wicks, 0. Jacobs and Reed together combined under 33 or individually? Get back to me. Kendra Miller, 4 points, 0. Need 20 from Tucker Kraft to get my puppy team to the final. 6. 22 points from Josh Jacobs. 39. Need 23 from Dobbs, Reed, and Juwan. Individually or total, you guys got to specify here. If I'm going to give you these precise calculations, I need Jacobs under 23 to advance a BBM. 69%. I need 19.5 PPR from Kendra Miller. 24. Jacobs under 3.3. You're dead, brother. 0.1. Reed 32.3. Kendra 34.5. 2. Jacob 17 to secure a chow. 63. Jayden Reed over 17.44. 22. Dobbs plus 0.86 over. God, this is awful. Dobbs plus 0.86 over Josh Jacobs. Dobbs less than 27.86. I'm moving on. That one broke my brain. Casey's going to get the game canceled. 33 points from Jamal Williams. 0. I need specific numbers if I'm going to give you a number. Jordan Love to score 40 and bring Dobbs and Kraft with him. 1. 1 to 3 feet snow at 50-mile-per-hour winds. Jayden Reed less than 15.2. 74. Our community sweat needle thread summary. That's fair. Yeah, I don't know if we can thread this needle. Under 23 from Jacobs. 67. Reed and Jacobs can get 32 points. I want more. I don't think I have anything. I'll even take the lid off. Casey, avert your eyes. I hope you didn't see that. Fade a 5-point game from Johnson to keep my puppy 3. Fade a 5. Man, I kind of like this spot for Juwan Johnson tonight. I'm going to give that a 41. I need 7 more from Bucky. Man, Tucker Kraft. You guys need a lot from Tucker Kraft. 16 points. That's a 16. Kendra under 40 and Jacobs under 50. Now you're just bragging. I'm just realistic, man. I'm just trying to underpromise so that when Tucker Kraft scores 30 points, all of your guys' dreams come true. Dubs plus 0.86 over Jacobs. 22. Are you kidding me with this CEH stuff? Is this real? Some of you guys need CEH tonight. Is he going to even be active? 6.8 from CEH. 9% chance. What? I should have never have done this. Just be thankful. If Davis was doing this, he would make you send in a $50 super chat to assign a probability to your team advancing. Andrew logging in with some real analysis. Jacob's going to have 25 plus carries against an awful team. You're probably right, brother. You're probably right. Need Musgrave for 20. 3. Did we kick ass at BR? Scroll back. Scroll back. Roll back. Roll back the tape. If you're wondering about my hat, if you're wondering about how I did in BR, roll back the tape. You see the schedule up here? GPP's Battle Royale Best Ball. No, I love Davis. Davis was a good sport. I made him Did you guys see the Deposit Kingdom video this week? Davis brings out views. Views have been struggling. You can see here on my Deposit Kingdom videos, the past few weeks, it bottomed out 2 weeks ago, 1.3K views, then 1.4K. And then we threw Davis on the thumbnail and title and we bounced up to 1.7K. Use these gems to destroy Davis Matic in week 16. I really wanted to win the BR with one of the gems so I could indeed say I destroyed Davis with one of my BMs. Kevin likes my hat. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. You have 100% chance of making the BBM finals. I don't even know if you have a team or a sweat, but I feel like you have 100% chance at making it. Do you know what's so funny about this? My parents asked me, Graphic says, guess we're not getting the New Balance kicks. Yeah, there was the New Balance giveaway for one of those teams I drafted. Anyway, what was I going to say? Oh, yeah. My parents asked me what I wanted for Christmas, and I legitimately said some New Balances. I sent them the pair I want. They're ordered. I'm getting New Balances for Christmas. I know that's not any solace for you because you wanted free New Balances from me, but I just thought you'd like to know that I'm getting a new pair of New Balances for Christmas. If I sent you a red hot chili pepper shirt, it took me a second to get that. Sure. Did Kitchen make the DK Millie? All of Kitchen's best ball teams that are advancing go to another school and live in Canada. I'm excited about my New Balances. Let's see. You want to see a picture of the New Balances I'm getting? All right, I'll show you. Here you go. Because I sent a screenshot to my parents since they gave me this. These are my new shoes. Can you believe this? We're looking at New Balances during the best ball section. I know, that's a new Balance tab. I need to talk to my guy, Chris. Chris, we got to update the overlays. We need a shoe section. Love them. Hey, Tyler, some of us aren't so desperate for attention that we need to have bright and colorful shoes so more people have to stare at us when we're walking about our life. Some of us are just into function and are comfortable enough that we don't need to have shoes that are the equivalent of screaming at people. Is there really a contest called the German Shepherd 2? There was literally one contest that I didn't even know existed. I think it was one G posted. Let me see. What was it was like the MG. Let me see if I can find it. Oh yeah, it was Mr. Unlimited's Wild Ride 2. I thought that was a bit. When did that contest drop? I have no recollection of it. I felt like I was very plugged in to best ball throughout the year, the contests. I remember the mini schnauzers. I remember the palms. When did Mr. Unlimited's Wild Ride drop? What was that contest? I saw screenshots of that and I was like, was I just out to lunch when that happened? I just told you my parents gave these to me for Christmas. I did not pay for these. MMG? All right. Okay, drop for like a week. I completely missed it. I missed it. I remember the flock contest. I remember all of those. That's why it's just so weird to me. I completely missed that one. All right. Let's check out. There was some conversation in the Deposit Kingdom about the guillotine. Unfortunately, my guillotine sweats are done. But let's move the ticker down to guillotine, and then we'll build a couple pick'ems for Monday night. I believe this is done. Chad Candles is going out here, 88 points. We are now at the point of the year where you have to have monster scores to hang, even with Lamar, even with JT, even with Bijan, with Justin Jefferson. Can't survive the 9 from Jennings and 5 from Trey McBride. Let's see, our guy Dan here. Oh, sorry, I was looking at a different team. I was looking at Dan's team. Dan had the monster score. Sorry, this is Dan's team. Yes, you could absolutely survive this. I'm an idiot. That hadn't refreshed yet. Here's Chad's team. Jalen Hurts, 4.5. That's a bad run out. Mixon, 8 points. Chase Brown, 13. Puka, 13. Brian Thomas, 28. Rico, 8. Jacoby, 6. Dalton Kincaid, 5. Yeah, that is tough there. Man, Jacoby kind of playing for floor. That's the thing about guillotine. You're kind of wired to play for floor earlier in the year, and then you start to have some tougher decisions of like, do I play Metcalf? Do I play T. Higgins? I think I would have played T. Higgins over Jacoby Myers, but don't think it would have mattered at this point. Michael is going to survive here, has 152, and still has Jacobs going tonight. So we're going to have a square off between Michael and Dan in the Deposit Kingdom Guillotine League Finals. How much money did I promise first place in this? I hope I didn't already spend it. I believe I promised some money for first place. I'm going to have to go back and look. There's no worse feeling than being the commissioner of a league and you forget to earmark the money. I'm a dynasty league commissioner. I was like, oh shit, I'm going to go. I have to send somebody $1,200 that I don't know where I put it. Oh my goodness. Ricky Beers. Ricky, disappears for like months at a time and then just pops up out of nowhere. Ricky, you'll be glad to know I'm starting to become a little bit of an NBA bro, a little bit of a hoops bro. We're in those hoop streets. Miss seeing you around here. Oh, there's Chad. I'm the chop guy and it wasn't even close. Yeah, I had a lot of fun with it. A few notes. So Fantasy Life is going to have playoff guillotine leagues. We're going to be doing some shows on that in the coming weeks. And I'm super excited to do more with guillotine next year. I'll definitely host another Deposit Kingdom one. I'm excited to get into some of the high stakes contests as well. Having played, traditional redraft and now guillotine redraft, like the guillotine sweat is a ton of fun. And I actually, despite forgetting to set waivers a few times, that's on me. Setting guillotine waivers is a lot less of a chore than regular waivers because you're going to bid on Puka Nacua. You're going to bid on Brock Bowers. You're not bidding on, Amir Abdullah. There's something about it bidding on really good players that makes it feel less of a chore. So I am excited to do more with guillotine coming up next year and glad you guys enjoyed the experience as well. TCD had fun as well. Playoff guillotine seems fun. Yeah. I am going to have to do a little bit of research. I probably will do a piece on Fantasy Life about it. So yeah, I'll have more for you guys on the playoff stuff here. Looks like we have a few different contests in the lobby. There's a $15, a $50, and a $100 here. Select your favorite players, survive each weekly chop, and compete for the top prize. So yeah, these are pretty fun. I'll definitely be hopping in a couple of these. There's the championship, and then there's some self-contained leagues as well. I have a link in the show notes if you guys want to check out the guillotine. All right, let's build a couple of pick'ems, and then I'll let you guys get on your way for ADP chasing, which is kicking off here in about 15 minutes. Oh, I didn't recap pick'ems. I had another our Our off and on the clock one was so close again. Oh, was this our off and on? I had so many pick'ems yesterday. I literally got this was a, no, where was it? Was this it? Yes, this was the off and on the clock one. It's back-to-back weeks. We've been literal yards away from shipping a big one. The previous week, we needed 11 more Bryce Young yards. We had cooked up this game stack. Caleb Williams higher than 1.5 passing TDs. Check. Jahmyr Gibbs, we slid all the way to over 124 scrimmage yards. Check. Keenan Allen, we slid his receptions up to 6.5. Check. And then DJ Moore, 79.5 receiving yards. He finishes with 68. This was like a 50 to win. It was at least a 20x. I believe it was more than that. So yeah, that stings to be so close, but let's get it back tonight. Let's get it back tonight. What do you guys like? What do you guys like? What is up, Neal? Is it just Neal? Did I buy? I realize you have a funky spelling on it, but I'll feel like a big old idiot if I say Neal and it's just Neal. But thank you, Mr. Murray, for becoming a YouTube member. Craig, I said this before. I have not drafted a single playoff best ball team yet. My mind just isn't there. I've had a singular goal to win the BR, and I am going to keep that goal through this week. There's lots of good playoff best ball content out there right now. Davis Maddock has been doing a ton of streams. The guys over at Leg Up have really good podcasts on it. I recommend starting there. I don't have a single playoff best ball take. I know nothing. I'm not there yet. Okay. So one thing I like tonight, with all due respect to the person that's like fading 5 points from Juwan Johnson, I do like Juwan Johnson in this. I was reading the quick slant, the preview column over on Leg Up. They were talking about how the Packers are kind of the ultimate bend, don't break defense. They're not going to allow big plays, not going to allow stuff get behind them, but they will give up stuff underneath. I kind of like Juwan Johnson underneath here. I guess the question is, do we play it through yards or receptions? He's been pretty consistent, 3, 5, 4. Last week dipped with only 2. I kind of like, 4 receptions. I kind of like that at plus money. Or do we take the yards at 29.5? What is his ADOT? They'll get him going a little bit downfield, right? Juwan Johnson, ADOT. Okay, it's been about the same here. 8, 7, 8, 8, 9. He's had a strong role, though. He has been a consistent producer here. 20%, about 20% targets per route run. If we filter just to the past, 4 or 5 weeks. 70% targets per route run, 15% of the targets, 8.4 ADOT. Let's play the receptions at plus money. Let's play the receptions at plus money. Swolecast is at 4 p.m. Eastern today. We have a weird schedule since tomorrow is Christmas Eve. We're not doing the show. I had a conflict. I'm doing the Fantasy Life LG show. So yeah, we're doing 4 p.m. Eastern for Swolecast today. Let's see. What other pick'em do we want in here? Let's go over. I want to see what the Fantasy Life pick'em tool likes. That is not correct. But thank you for the heads up. I will let you know. Thank you for that heads up, Tyler. Shocking that we don't have our shit together. All right, let me zoom out here. Let's get rid of these two games. Kevin Austin, did someone mention Austin over? Looks like the Fantasy Life likes the under on Kevin Austin. Likes the lowers on a lot of this stuff. Likes Jacobs higher receiving yards. Oh, it did like the Juwan Johnson receiving yards. You know what? If it likes the Johnson receiving yards, can we get a 1.2 sliding him on receiving yards? Let's do that. Let's slide him to 39.5 for 1.4. So now this is just a couple yards off of the projection, and we get a 1.4 instead of a 1.2. Kendre Miller, lower receiving yards. Kendre Miller has not been getting much work in the receiving game, right? I know last year when he played in week 18, he didn't have a single reception, I want to say. I guess it's playing with a little bit of fire if they're in such a negative game script. But he has not been, I mean, one target in these past two games. They do not like using him in that capacity. The question is, is Jamal Williams going to catch a couple balls, or will they just not throw to the running back? I kind of like Kendre lower on the... Man, we can get lower on 2.5 receptions. That seems good to me, right, guys? I love Kendre, but the dude has had one target in the past 2 weeks. All right. Kendre under receptions. Yeah, I like that one a lot. I'm surprised that's not 1.5, honestly. Is this your first time here? We drafted Kendre Miller like all fucking summer until he was so dead that we finally said, all right, we'll stop. We'll stop. Okay. What Green Bay piece? Because I do like this here for the 3. Who do we want on Green Bay? Yeah, the thing with Kendre, it's more just it's less even about the quarterback and just more about how they've used him, and he has not been used in that capacity. And I feel like 2.5 is a pretty nice moat to have. Jacobs' first TD score, what does that pay? 1.8? That's kind of good. I kind of like that. What does this pay? 15.98. How about this? Let's run this Saints core with a few different touchdown angles. I like this one. The Jacobs first TD score seems nice. I like that shout. Do I ever make it to the Cape? Yeah, I go to the Cape a decent amount during the summer. A Watson slider. All right, so we're gonna call that. That's the. That's Jacobs. What's the longest reception for That's kind of nice, right? Like if you're going to play Christian Watson, longest reception, 39.5 for 2.33. I kind of like that better than just like the 1.37 for a touchdown. What's comparable for, you'd have to slide him all the way up to 79.5 yards. What do we like better? Christian Watson catches a bomb for 39.5 or gets to 80 yards? Maybe the yards is just better. 39.5 is a... You guys like the Watson stuff tonight? Let me look at the... I want to look at the RotoViz pass-up rater. We're going to actually have to pick this up because we got 4 more minutes until I'm sending you guys to... let me log in. I wanted to see which matchups RotoViz liked here for the game. This is one of the tools I like using. So it does like the matchup a lot for Reed and Christian Watson. All right, let's run this twice with Reed and Watson. All right, I kind of like the yards there too. Let's slide him up to 79.5 yards. We'll keep this core. There's a Watson. And then let's do something with Reed. All right, what are they giving us on Jayden Reed? Do they have scrimmage yards for him? Doesn't look like it. That's always nice to have that. You can just do receiving yards. Touchdowns 1.5. Man, the touchdowns is probably the better way to play him. I think that's probably the way. You could also just play fantasy points, but then we're not getting any juice. All right, this is what we're going to do. I'm going to play this once as a regular touchdown for Jayden Reed, and then I want to play the first touchdown because that looks fun. Let's play Jayden Reed, first TD score at 5.46. That's fun. All right. I didn't see any Reed rushing when I looked. I don't see any Reed rushing. All right, guys. I'm going to get you on your way to ADP chasing here. I'll post these. If you're listening back to this on audio, I'll drop the links to these pick'ems in the show notes and the comments if you guys want to tail. Appreciate all of you. I know it can be a rough morning having your hopes and dreams dashed in the BBM and all of the other contests, but the big board will be here before you know it. Have a great rest of your Monday. Go watch ADP Chasing. I'll see you on Swolecast at 4 p.m. And if not, have a very happy holidays coming up. I am going to be tapping out for Christmas Eve and Christmas, and then we'll be back on Thursday for the Shipcast. We'll have a Shipcast Thursday night for Thursday Night Football. No lulls this week, no stat chasing this week. We'll have the usual shows starting with the Shipcast and then the Friday stuff as well. All right, guys, enjoy the game. May all of your sweats and anti-sweats come true. We'll see you guys next time on the Portfolio Review.